At first, it was more of like a funny thing, and like we were trying to make music to be funny. And the more we kept doing it, like the more I just fell in love with it. Me and a bunch of my friends back in high school, we were just messing around one day, and I was like, the next thing we could do is to build a booth. So we went to Home Depot, we got a bunch of stuff together, and here we are. This is it. This is years of work. Hours down here. Minutes, days. I've spent years of my life down in this place. I used to stay up in my room till like 5 a.m. on school nights listening to Eminem and Ludacris. And I would sit there and just run those songs all night. It didn't matter if I had to wake up at 7 the next day. I just loved it so much. And I knew I wanted to do something like that. Once things started to get more serious, I knew that Cincinnati wasn't really the place to be if I was really going to go for it. So I went with a couple of my friends and we moved out to Los Angeles last year. We just decided if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. A big part of all this is learning to network yourself, and it's not a thing where you just make the music and just expect that to just take care of itself. You have to meet people, you have to go to events, make connections. Then there's obviously social media and all that, but that's a big part of why I moved out here, was because, this is, with arguably Atlanta or somewhere like that, like the place to be if you're trying to make music. And I'm not saying you can't do it anywhere else, but you just meet so many more people out here, and there's so many more opportunities that you can make for yourself.
Hey, they say if you ain't ballin', you sitting on the bench, homie. We starting over here. Devil, let's go.
Building your brand is definitely another really important thing that I don't think people think about when trying to make music and trying to get into that. It's not that you have to be someone you're not, but you kind of have to find a place that you're comfortable, just as far as image, that is something people will remember. I think that's a big part of branding yourself. You need to be able to have people see you and always be like, oh yeah, that's that kid that does that. I've had like a big thing with my beard like over the last couple years, and like that's like how I'm recognized or noticed at this point, and like people see that, and I don't know, it's just become kind of a part of me and the whole music as a whole. I got to open a lot of shows for people like Big Sean, Mike Posner, Wiz Khalifa, people like that. And that brings everything all the way back around to connecting. You do a show like that, you meet so many people, you meet photographers, you meet DJs, you meet other artists. So doing things like that and taking chances and putting yourself out there and meeting people was really helpful in the long run. One of my songs was featured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which, was pretty cool, and most of it was because of the producer, who has made a lot of connections and has been doing it for a long time. So that was a pretty cool thing. It's little things like that that make it all worth it. It's a lot of hours, and you have to dedicate a lot of your life, a lot of nights staying in, just lock yourself up. But if you love it, that's passion. it's really deciding that you'd rather be doing that than anything else, and it means that much to you that you're willing to put so much time into it. And I have, and I plan to continue doing so for a long time. Another thing that a lot of people don't know, and I see it a lot these days in younger kids that ask me for help and are trying to get my opinions on stuff, is that unless you're one of the 1% that's really lucky, it takes money to make money, and it takes money to get somewhere, really. You can't just do something and post it and expect, oh, I'm good, like, we're gonna make it, here we go. You really have to network and brand and put stuff behind it so that it can get to places that it wouldn't get just normally. If I was gonna give somebody coming up trying to do this advice, I honestly just tell them that you have to stay true to yourself and not try to be something that you're not, and just be real and believe in yourself, because if you don't do that, then it's never gonna happen. It's not about money or recognition. I think it's more about making something that people can relate to and people like, and people can laugh to or cry to. Just anything that music does for you. I want to do that for other people. That's what it's about.